Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. Tonight we are going for a beer from the latest Lidl's Beer Festival, and this one has courted a little bit of controversy because it is a little bit unusual. The flavours should be seen in a different style based on everyone's findings so far. Which one is it? It is this one. It is Boss Brewing's Nutjob. And Nutjob is a 4.5% peanut butter pale ale. Yeah, a peanut butter pale ale. By all accounts, it shouldn't work, and lots of people disagree that it does work. So I'm going to find out for myself. What can I tell you about the beer? Well, it says on the back, beer and nuts have always been the perfect combo. Welcome to the magic match of them both rolled into one in this peanut butter pale ale. With smack you in the face peanut butter flavours, which are complemented by the malty backbone. It's one of those beers that shouldn't work, but just absolutely does. A nutty, savoury, crazy hit that's best enjoyed with a handful of peanuts, of course. Try it for yourself, as the experience is almost impossible to explain. And it tells you on the back also that the aroma is nutty. The flavour to expect is savoury peanuts, buttery with slight bitterness, and is perfect with pecan pie, salt and vinegar crisps. Interesting. But it is what it is, and it says to enjoy, stand this bad boy in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours before pouring or drink from the bottle like a boss. Well, I'm a little bit more civilised. I'm going to have it in a glass. So yeah, so like I say, it's 500ml bottle. It's about £1.49 in Lidl's right now. And we're going to try it and see what we think. Now, I don't have any Boss Brewing glassware, but I do have something local-ish from them. It's a tiny Rebel glass, so we're going to pour into that one. So the pour is... It is pale. Do you know what? It looks good. It's got a little bit of haze. We've got a good 2-finger off-white head that's a little bit creamy. And yeah, have a look at that. That's your beer up close. It looks decent, you know. It really does. Let's have a whiff, see if we can get any of that peanut aroma. You bloody do. That's confusing. Yeah, that's weird. And it's like a horseradish type thing going on as well. That's kind of, yeah, that's a bit of a mind masher. You don't expect those aromas from a pale ale. Stout, yes, and even then, not in as big a way, and certainly not in as an obvious way as there is with this. This is in your face, balls to the wall, peanuts. It's nuts. Yeah, there's that slight sharpness, that acidity that you might get from a horseradish. Yeah, and straight up peanut. It's interesting. Let's go in and have a taste. Cheers. It's different, that's for sure. Let's have another taste, because yeah, you get the peanuts. You get a little bit of kind of grapefruitiness coming through as well. And it's dry on finish. And there is something else going on. There really is. I'm not really sure what it is. There is a sharpness, that acidity on the flavour as well as the aroma. It's almost like a bretted type thing going on. A slight funkiness. It's a grower. It's a grower. That peanut flavour really shouldn't work. I can see why people wouldn't like it, but I can see why people do, and I can see why they've done it. Because it's bonkers. It shouldn't work. As it says on the bottle, it shouldn't. But I quite like it. like I say, there's not anything tropical, you know. Don't expect anything like that. Expect pale ale with savoury edges and peanuts. It's nuts. I actually quite like it. I do. I because it's so different, and there's not the usual suspects from a pale ale, like in a modern pale. I mean, some of the stuff that I've had from Boss before was like typical New World IPAs, you know, fruity, tropical, pineapple, sweet mango, all that kind of thing. There's none of that here. This is purely savoury based. If you like your beers with a savoury kick, then yeah, you're going to enjoy this. Yeah, it's a traditional pale ale. It's slightly bitter on the back end. There is a little bit of hop presence coming through, but the predominant flavour is the peanut, and there is just bucket loads of it. And yeah, quite enjoying that. So, Boss Brewing Nutjob. What do I think of you? Are you a nut job, or are you just plain nuts? I like it. I do. It's different. It's very different. You know, you expect peanut in a stout or a porter. That works. You know, it's traditional-ish. And the darker roasted malts support that savoury peanut type flavour. You don't expect it in a pale ale. You certainly don't expect it to work. But it does. There is the malty backbone that they refer to. It's there. It supports it quite nicely. You know, without it, the peanut just wouldn't work. It has to have that richness, and that slight sweetness from the malt just to balance it out and make it work. And yet, incredibly, you've got a nice little subtle bitterness on the back end as well. It's really a beer that kind of suits a very few people, but it happily hits all the senses and the taste buds, you know, sweet, sour, savoury, all of that. So let's go over the brief. Aroma, is it nutty? It blooming is, and it hits that 100% nail on the head. The flavour, savoury peanuts, buttery, slight bitterness. Definitely get the savoury peanuts. Slight bitterness, yes, I get that on the back end. Do I get any buttery? I can see what they're saying. I can see what they're saying with that. And I've completely forgot to mention the body. It's light to middling, and it works. And it says it's perfect with pecan pie and salt and vinegar crisps. I can see exactly why it would work with the crisps. I really can. Peanut pecan pie. Let's just call it pecan and maple plat from Tesco. They're amazing. It would go lovely with that. And yeah, you can't taste 4.5%. But you can taste peanut butter. Would I buy it again? Do you know what I would? I really would. Because it's different, and I imagine it's not going to be around for long. It's probably a one-off. I imagine the feedback is going to be across the board pretty much that most people don't like it because it is a little bit left field for them. And I appreciate left field. I like things that are a little bit different, and this is different. It fits its brief perfectly. You know, the other breweries have a Bible of bullshit. This is just straight up honest truth on the little tasting profile box. Right down there by my finger, you know, and it delivers. It's like Ronsil. It does exactly what it says on the tin, or in this case the bottle. So yes, I'd buy it again. Would I rush out and buy it again? Well, I don't think I'm going to get a chance. There weren't many left in my local Lidl, but I might just sneak up, see if I can grab another one, just for the hell of it, because it is really nice. Would I rush out and buy it again? Ooh, not quite, boss. Unfortunately, you know, it's a little bit too different. You know, it's not one I could sit and knock back every day or every weekend or everything like that. Once in a while, you know, I would enjoy one or two of these, and yeah, it's different. I like different. So without further ado, I'm going to give Boss Brewing's Nutjob 3 3/4 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet of joy, which for something that far left field, that much of a curveball, it shouldn't it shouldn't work, but it does. So if you've tried Nutjob, let me know what you think of it in the comments section down there. And speaking of the comments section down there, there's some other buttons as well. You got like, dislike, and subscribe as well. Choose any combination of them as you wish. Do let me know if you've tried it in the comments section. Let me know either way what you thought of it. If you thought it was absolutely nuts and doesn't work at all, or if you enjoyed it a bit like me, I would love to know. On that note, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this beer, and I'm going to say that's been the beer. I've been Nick, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.